Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Annie and this is Unity Consciousness. Today we're going to be discussing the energy that will be prominent this week beginning today, the 6th of December, and cruising on through the weekend. Before we get started with this week's energy, I want to back up a little bit. We had a pretty intense solar eclipse last Friday, and it was, like I said, intense. Saturday, excuse me. And that energy will be with us for 6 months. And you're going to notice in the energy updates weekly now for that period of time, there's going to be little excerpts from that astrological configuration that pop up so that we can manage that energy and use it to our advantage. And that's the purpose of these videos, is giving you some insight as to how you can use this energy. Being a multi-dimensional translator, it's important to know the rules of the game so that you can play the game and extract the greatest benefit out of it. So anyway, the month of December is going to be wrought with a lot of change. We have many things going on here. So I want you to pay attention to your frequency. That's most important here. If you find yourself, and we all do, dropping into third dimensional awareness, just to notice that that's a time to take a step back and go internal and step away and create some space so that you can get that vibration up where you'd like it to be. But typically things trigger us or instigate a 3D reaction so that we can gain some insight from it. So just know that. And the trigger points will be throughout the month of December asking us to make change, benefit from any triggers that you may get. Don't let it turn you into defensive mechanisms. No, use that, understand it, take a step away, and use it to your advantage. So what do we got looking forward to for us this week and also for the rest of the month? So we've got some Mars energy this week. So people specifically that have Mars in Scorpio, pay close attention, but Mars energy will be prominent. So how your aggression plays out is going to be important. So that's happening this week. And then Venus is also slowing down. Venus is going to go retrograde late at the end of next week. And so as Venus begins to slow down, the energy of that planet begins to magnify. So we've got some elements this week relative to Venus that are going to be important, but it's also getting us ready for this long retrograde cycle in Capricorn. As a matter of fact, we're going to be dealing with this energy until March of 2022. So get comfortable in the energy, recognize the energy, and again, we're gonna figure out how we can use this to our advantage and get through this the retrograde cycle with the greatest benefit. And also this month on the 21st, we've got our third and final Saturn-Uranus square. And again, that is restriction versus freedom internally as well as externally. So that it's a collective thing as well as it's a personal thing. So we've got a lot of energy coming up that is going to require us to adapt and make change. Just be aware that's our month of December, and let's pull what we can out of it and use it to our advantage. So let's start with our energy this week. So today, Monday, the 6th of December, we have Mars sextile Pluto. This is one of those Mars elements that I would like everyone to take note of. So Mars is in Scorpio and Pluto is in the sign of Capricorn. And Mars in Scorpio is all about truth and knowing the truth and finding out the truth. And Pluto in Capricorn, amongst other things, but it's focus. It is focus on foundations and principles. So this energy combined can be very enthusiastic. It can be determined. It can speak of high levels of endurance. And what I like about this, it's very harmonious energy. You've got Pluto and you've got Mars. One is the ancient ruler of Scorpio and one is the modern ruler of Scorpio. So they speak and they speak each other's messages, and so therefore this is a very harmonious configuration. It is a really good day for vision boards. So if you don't have a goal in mind for this day to use this energy, because like I said, you'll be very enthusiastic and optimistic, if you need a way to channel that to your benefit, create a vision board. Think about what it is over the next 6 months that you want to create in your sphere using all of this energy, the Mars energy, that you can for transformational purposes. Again, we've got Pluto here. So it is harmonious. We can use it for conscious manifestation. So what does that mean to you? What do you want to change? What are you looking forward to changing over the next 6 months? So make that vision board. Today's a really, really, really good day for it. Now, I have to tell you, over the weekend, I started feeling this very high level of anxiety, and I have been blessed with the gift of very strong intuitional, I guess you would call it clairvoyance. I don't know. I can tell how energy is going to feel in the coming days. And I believe that I've been gifted with this opportunity so that I can feel the energy, pay attention to the astrological forecast, and then interpret that so that you and I can gain the most out of that energy without it throwing us over a cliff or for a loop, throwing us for a loop. So anyway, like I said, I've been feeling anxious, and looking at the energy for today, I'm like, that really doesn't match Mars sextile Pluto. But wait, so on Tuesday we have energy that it's mutable, square energy. Squared energy starts to step in. And remember, squares are not there to be feared. Squares are there to initiate action or instigate some change in some way. So we've got Mercury in Sagittarius, which is square Neptune in Pisces. Remember, Neptune just went direct. So even though Neptune is direct and it would be, seeing things a little bit more clearly, this is a square. So there is going to be odds with something. And there could be, because we're talking Mercury here, Mercury's in Sag, there could be mixed messages. Mercury is, mind processes, communications. And when it's square Neptune, that could be, communications that, aren't quite meeting their mark. They could be mixed. You may feel one way in beginning the message and feel something different at the end. Please do clarify. It can also trigger fear-based thinking and anxiety, which is what I was starting to feel, which will also lead us into Wednesday's energy. But because Mercury and Neptune it's mutable energy, again, there's going to be a lot of changes that occur, like within the same sentence for that matter. Tap into your intuition. Remember, Pisces is all about spirituality and intuition. Tap into that intuition. Even though it's a square, that intuition will not give you mixed messages. That's one thing you can count on this day. But please be mindful of fear-based thoughts and anxiety. Also, the 3D manifestation of Neptune can also be addictions. So if you are reaching for something to help soothe something, that's also not a good idea, not a good use of this Neptunian energy. Go to the 5D principle. Tap into spirituality, tap into your intuition to help quell and quench the anxiety or the fear that you're beginning to feel on this day. Do not make any decisions from this place because, like I said, there could be some fogginess or disillusionment there because it is a square. There could be some information missing. Mercury's involved here. You don't have all the message, or you don't have all the information. So let's give it a couple of days. Just give it a couple of days. Then on Wednesday, which is the 8th, we have Mars again. Remember, we have Mars energy this week, so we've got it on the 6th and we've got it on the 8th. And Mars is going to square Jupiter. Jupiter's in Aquarius, Mars is in Scorpio. So basically, this is drive meets expansion. I'm going to get it at all costs. Doesn't matter who's involved or who's paying attention or what I got to do to get it. That's a square. Okay, that's our Mars-Jupiter square. Also, because Jupiter is in Aquarius and it's at anorectic degrees, so it's nearing the end of that transit, so it's becoming more powerful as well. So that expansiveness of Mars energy, which is aggression, can just be over the top. Okay, and because this is fixed energy, it's a fixed energy square. you could really feel stuck. Like, I'm so tired of being in this. I'm sick and tired of this. And I was feeling this energy as well, which is not, it is not very comfortable in combination with the energy that was present on Tuesday. So, we know what we want. We know we want it now, and we're done waiting. My patience has worn out. Today is the day. I'm going for it. You know what? Take a step back. It's time to engage the 5D aspects of this instead of the 3D instant gratification that we really, really want on this day. Check your frequency. If you found yourself getting over the top aggressive, let's use that aggressive or that action-based energy and turn it internally to find out what we need to tweak. So, 3D is worry, it's anxiety, it's aggression, it's anger, it's frustration. It's all external. It's all, I'm going to do this so that I can feel better. So 5-dimensional use of this energy, it is passionate. Internal work for the purpose of liberation. So taking a situation, any situation that pops up and presents to you, accept those circumstances. Don't fight against them. They're there for purpose. They're there to show us something that needs to change. Remember, this is a square and it's being expanded, so it's probably larger than life. So step away from victimization. Accept the circumstances for what they are. Sit with those circumstances until that energy kind of dissipates a bit. Feel those feelings. Don't hide them. Don't look for an addictive tendency to cover it up. It's okay to feel them. And if it starts to get overwhelming, that's when you create a little space for yourself, but you recognize the environment. You're not trying to push it away or get away from it because you understand that the situation is popped up in your sphere of knowing so that you can make some type of a transition. And it may just be the way you're looking at it. And once you have looked at the situation in a different light, or that you have interpreted the situation as a positive, something to help you versus a negative, which requires fear-based anxiety and aggressiveness on the outward plane, you're going to soothe yourself and you're going to bring this energy to a calm place that allows you to make shifts internally and grow. That's the ascension process. We want you to recognize your power, and in order to feel that power, let's turn it inward. Let's sit with it. Let's realize what we can change in our own thought process or our interpretation of a situation and turn it into something positive. And again, it's an internal versus an external, and it can be used and shifted just really that quickly. Then we're going to zoom along to Saturday. Saturday on the 11th, we've got another big energy day here. A lot of things going on. So let me get through this quickly. We've got Mercury, which is in Sagittarius, is going to sextile Jupiter and Aquarius. Remember, sextile energies do something to get something, right? And this, because Mercury is thoughts and mind processes, and Jupiter's in Aquarius, it's a great energy for hopeful thoughts and optimism, and also making travel plans, because we've got Sagittarius, which loves to travel, and we've got Aquarius, which is very worldly. So it's a good day to make travel plans. However, I want you to pay attention because we also have the Sun, which is in Sagittarius, is going to square Neptune, which is in Pisces. So this is a mutable square, a lot of changes, again, a lot of confusion and change. So as you're making your travel plans, make sure that those are the travel plans that you really want to make that day. But as far as decisions about you yourself, on directional changes, I would wait a day, because you're squaring Neptune again, and there's going to be some disillusionment there. Use your intuition on this day, and that will help you through some circumstances. And then finally, we've got Venus, which is in Capricorn, is going to conjunct Pluto. So that means they're joining forces. And because Venus is going to go retrograde at the end of next week, they're going to do this dance for a while. So it's important for us to understand this energy and how we can use it to our benefit. As a matter of fact, there's 3 exact perfections of Venus and Pluto joining forces in Capricorn. Capricorn for purpose. So make note of the energy that you feel on this day and get comfortable with it, because we'll be feeling it a couple more times, actually a total of 3. After this, there'll be 2 more times. So Venus is all about relationships and money. So just know that your concepts, because we're dealing with Pluto here, that's transformation. So you're more than likely going to feel differently about something when you start the retrograde cycle and when you end the retrograde cycle, which, by the way, is the 1st of March. So just recognize that we don't want to make any big decisions about love or money or make any large purchases during this period of time, because back to what happened last weekend, we had a solar eclipse, and Venus was a player, Pluto was a player. This is an aspect of that, the full solar eclipse, that we need to take into account and use it to our advantage over the next several weeks. So again, make note of this. So sometimes the biggest and the strongest act of love is acceptance of what is, taking a step back and recognizing it for what it is, knowing that there's transformation that's going to take place, and allowing for that transformation to occur. Don't step into it. If you see somebody is going to learn a lesson or get a lesson and you care for that person, sometimes it's really difficult to turn away or take a step back, but sometimes the biggest act of love is allowing that transformation to take place. Don't take it on. Your part in that is to send love to the individual that's going through the transformation. So that's a biggie. That's a real biggie that we'll need to remember over the course of from now through March. So giving space for people who are going through their own transformation, that's very powerful, and that's one of the greatest acts of love that you can give as a mother, as a friend, as a sister, as a father, as a guide, as a mentor. That's a biggie. You don't have to drive everything. You don't have to take it on yourself. Also, because the axes are about to shift, and this has to do with self-worth. Again, this is money and relationships and Pluto. So let's take a look at our own self-worth during this period of time. The axis is going to shift. So for the next 18 to 24 months, we're also looking at self-worth. So this is kicking off that nodal axis shift as well. How do you view yourself from a worthy standpoint? How do you talk to yourself from a worthy standpoint? That's something that's also going to be popping up here. Then addressing your own past painful circumstances that have allowed you to transform, and the psychology that you've gained in that process. How did it change you? How did that circumstance change you? It could have been a very painful past situation that you have evolved from. Where did that leave you? And how can you use that to help others? And sometimes it's just sending good thoughts. Sometimes it's just good thoughts. But that will also allow us to transform that lesson. The lesson, step out of victimization. The lesson was a positive because you gained something from it. So this is an opportunity for us to review some painful past experiences from an empowerment standpoint versus a victimization. So that there's going to be a broader theme here during Venus retrograde. So keep that in mind over the process of that period of time. So what can we do with this energy? Overall, self-care is very important here. If you get triggered over the course of this week, practice self-care and appreciation for space, your own space and that of others. Be honest with yourself, be patient with yourself, be kind with yourself. Then most importantly, be patient with others, be kind with others, and that will benefit not only you but the collective as well. And with Mars being in the forefront this week, be mindful of aggression. Okay, let's engage the 5-dimensional Mars aspects and allow the passion to have us go internally to make some changes and tweak some things that liberate us from the chains that are holding us in place, asking for us to make those changes. And then finally, remember, as my grandmother, she's great, but she's my grandmother, not my great-grandmother, but she used to say, this too shall pass. And just know that this energy is moving quickly. And this is a period of time in which we can extract the information, understand the information, feel the information, and use it to our advantage so that we can grow and ascend. Thank you so much for joining me today. I did go a little bit long. It is a big energy week. I believe this whole month will be. If you have any questions, please put them in the comment section below. If you know somebody that could be assisted or helped by these videos, please join me in this ascension process and education of ascension so that we can help people as they move through these processes. And if you don't mind clicking the subscribe button, you'll know when the videos are shared. Have a fabulous week. I'm with you all the way. Namaste.